Hi everybody, this is Mr. Yearling. I'm an Instructional Technology Coordinator here in the School District of Waukesha. In this video, we're going to look at some really important steps to make sure that your information specific to your school-related needs, any projects or notes, anything like that is protected and safe even if something happens to your iPad. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the first things you want to make sure to turn on and keep on your iPad is your iCloud backup. So I'm going to tap into Settings. And if you're updated, like I am, to the most recent operating system, you will be able to tap on iCloud. And then we're going to take a look at backup. So you can see my backup is set to off. And I want to turn that on, and I want to keep that on. So in order to turn it on, I'm just going to flip the switch here. Of course, I'll need to have my Apple ID and my Apple ID password available. But then I'm going to click OK. So we'll turn on that backup. As you can see, it's doing right there. Now this won't protect all of your information, but will protect a lot of your information. And in the event that maybe your iPad breaks or something happens to it, we can bring back a lot of the information that was on your iPad previous to the break. So that's a really important step so that you don't lose some really important pieces that you might need for your classes. Once you're set, you can go ahead and click Backup Now. You can see I had this turned on yesterday, and so at 11:06 p.m. it backed up for me. I wasn't there touching the button, it just did that because I leave my iCloud backup turned on, and I'd recommend that you do the same. The only thing that you may run into with your iCloud backup is that you have 5 gigs of storage. 5 gigs of storage isn't very much, and if you're backing up all of your photos and all of the information that's on your iPad, that can create a bit of an issue. So once you've done a backup, you can also change what gets backed up as you work through that. All right, that's going to protect some of your information, but it won't protect all of your information. And so one of the things you should know is that Google Drive is a great way to back up a lot of the other information that you might need for your classes, projects, things you want to keep for a long time. Keep it in a safe place so that you don't lose it in the event that you lose your iPad, you break your iPad, something like that might happen that you really weren't planning on having happen. So from time to time, you want to back up really important information that you'll need from school. I'll show you one example, which is from Book Creator. So let's say we've done a project and it's all set to go. We've done our project. Now I'd like to just make sure I have a copy of it for the future. iCloud backup won't back up all of the books that you've got in here. So you've got to find another way to back those up. And so you'll come in here and you'll click on this arrow button. Because I want to be able to edit it in the future for this kind of project, I'm going to export it as an EPUB, but you could select any of those. And then you'll slide over to Google Drive. Now for me, I'm already logged into my drive, but I've got a specific folder that I want to put my information into. So I'm going to click on My Drive. And before I did this recording, I created a folder called iPad Backup. That just makes it easier for me to find the files that I'm looking for later. So I click iPad Backup, save here, and then upload. And now I have that copy saved on Google Drive. So if anything ever happens to my iPad, I can always come back and get those important files. You'll do something very similar in apps like Explain Everything. So depending on what you've got in Explain Everything, you might need to back up different files at different times. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on the files that I want to share. And then I can export it as a project or as a video. If I want to be able to edit it later, I'm going to click Project, Google Drive. So again, this is where it's really helpful to have a folder like iPad Backup. So I tap on the folder I want to save in and click Export. It'll take a few moments. It'll do the sending off of that file. And now I can be sure that I've got a project file out there for my security later if I ever choose to edit it, work on it again, or if I need it again in the event that something would happen on my iPad. While that's working, I'll show you one other important place for you to do a backup. A lot of you are using Notability and doing really great things on it, but you do need to back up any files that are in Notability. These are your notes, these are your worksheets. This is really important information for your schooling. So what we're going to do is when we're in Notability, we're going to click on the gear icon down here. I'm going to click on Auto Backup, Google Drive. Now here you'll see I'm not signed in, so this is my first time backing up. So now that I've clicked Sign In, I can click Allow. And now it's automatically going to back up my Google Drive files as PDFs. Okay, so back up anything that's in Notability to Google Drive as a PDF. And then, of course, I can turn that off if I need to, but what's really nice about this is every time I create a file in Notability, it automatically backs that up. So if you ever lose or something happens to your iPad, you can always at least get your notes and your data back. This is a really important lesson to learn, and it's something that you want to make sure you stay on top of, because your important work here at school is something that you want to keep as long as you need it, and you don't want to put it at risk with possible damage or loss of your iPad. So that's how we back up all of the important information we might need for school on our iPad.